Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum. So, this is Act 4. Let's start. Now, this scene is took place in a court of justice of Venice. Means the scene is from a court. Enter the Duke, the Magnificus, Antonio, Bassanio, Graciano, Salario, and others. So that means the nobles of Magnificus, matlab the noble of Venice, means the noble person of Venice. They entered in the scene. Duke, what is Antonio here? Is Antonio here? Antonio, yes, your grace, I am already here. Duke, I am sorry for thee. Thou art come to answer a stony adversary and inhuman wretch, incapable of pity, void and empty from any dram of mercy. Now, Duke said, "Okay, Antonio, I am so sorry for you. You have come to defend yourself against a stone-hearted enemy, an inhuman wretch without pity, totally lacking in mercy." Okay, the person means you are facing this stone hearted enemy who has no pity for you, and he is totally lacking. There is no mercy in him also. Okay, now Antonio answered that I have heard, your grace, your Grace had taken great pains to qualify his rigorous course, but since he stands obdurate, and that no lawful means can carry me out of his rich reach, I do oppose my patience to his fury, and am armed to suffer with the quietness of spirit the very tyranny and rage of his. So, what Antonio said? Antonio said that I have heard that your grace has taken great pains to moderate the harsh legal proceedings. He remains obstinate, and since there are no legal methods to save me from his clutches, that I cannot be saved from his clutches, what he is asking, I have to pay that one. Okay. Yes, I shall suffer his anger with patience. I am prepared to face his cruelty and anger with a calm spirit. Okay, so means what he said that I will face. I am prepared that I will face his cruelty and anger with a calm spirit. Duke said, "Go one and call the Jew into the court." Who was the Jew? To whom he is asking to call?
Shylock.
Yes, Shylock.
Shylock.
So he's asking Shylock, means he's asking to call the Jew into the court. That was Shylock. Salario, he is ready at the door. He comes, my lord. Means Salario said he is already standing on the at the door. Here he comes, my lord. Now enter Shylock. Duke, make room and let him stand before our face. Shylock, the word thinks, and I think so too, that thou but leadest this fashion of thy malice to the last hour of act, and then this thought thou'lt show thy mercy and remorse more strange. Now Duke said, make room and let him stand before me. Shylock, everyone thinks, and I also think, that you only continue with your show of cruelty till the last moment. Then all of a sudden you will show mercy and repentance. Okay? Now, yes. Now please read this paragraph for me. Who will read? Who will read? The first one.
Which one, ma'am?
The first one, beta, means starting from this, than is thy strange.
Should I read, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Then is this strange apparent cruelty, and where thou now extract the penalty, which is a pound of this poor merchant's flesh, thou will not only lose the forfeit,
For feature.
but but touch thee with human gentleness and love, forgive a moiety of the principal, glancing an eye of pity on his losses, that have of late so huddled on his back, enough to press a royal merchant down, and pluck commiseration of his state, from brassy bosom and rough herds of flint, from stubborn Turks and Tartars, never train thee to offices of tender courtesy. We all expect a gentle answer due.
Okay, so now who is saying all these words? Duke is saying कि such an attitude would seem more unexpected than your cruelty. To whom he is communicating? He is communicating with Shylock that your attitude would seem more unexpected than your cruelty, whereas you now insist on claiming the penalty which is pound of this poor merchant's flesh. I'm sure that you will not only agree to abandon your claim but will act according to human gentleness and love and forego a portion of the original sum borrowed by Antonio, after looking sympathetically at the losses which he has suffered. Means what Duke was expecting? He was expecting that after listening all Antonio's story, he will means he will look at him sympathetically. Who will see? The Shylock. Means Shylock will look at him as sympathetically, and he will take, means he will just leave some portion of the original sum what he borrowed from Shylock. So these losses have been so severe to ruin a noble merchant and draw pity for his condition from hearts as hard as brass and as rough as stones, from uncultured Turks and Tartars who have never been taught the feeling of human kindness. Now, Jew, we all expect a noble response from you. So now what Duke is asking, that Shylock, I want, or we all want a noble response from you. So consider Antonio and his problem and try to help him in a good way. Now Shylock, what Shylock said. Yes, please, who will read now? Please read it. Yes, Tuba. Yes, Tuba.
I have possessed your grace of what I purpose, and by our holy Sabbath have I sworn to have the due and forfeit of my bond. If you deny it, let the danger light upon your character and your city's freedom. You'll ask me why I rather choose to have a weight of carrion flesh than to receive 3,000 ducats. I'll not answer that, but say it is my humor. Is it answered? What if my house be troubled with a rat, and I be pleased to give 10,000 ducats to have it paid? What are you answered yet? Some men there love not a gaping bag, some that are mad if they behold a cat, and others, when the bagpipe sings, are those who cannot contain themselves for affection. Mistress of passion sways it to the mood of what it likes or loathes. Now for your answer, as there is no firm reason to be tendered why he cannot abide a gaping pig.
Okay, so what Shylock said that I have informed your grace of my intentions. I have vowed by the Sabbath that I will have my dues and the penalty laid down in the contract. Means I will not leave anything. I will take the dues and penalty the same it's written in the contract. If you deny me this right, you will endanger the charter of freedom of your country. You want to know why I prefer to have the rotten flesh instead of 3,000 ducats. I will not answer that except that I have a fancy for it. Means he was saying that you must be you wanted to know that why I want this rotten flesh instead of 3 ducats. Means I can take more money, but I want his flesh, but I will not answer it except that I have a fancy for it. I like this. Is your question answered? What does it matter if my house is troubled by a rat and I spend 10,000 ducats to have it poisoned? Is that a satisfactory answer? There are some men who hate a gaping pig, and others go mad if they see a cat. Others cannot have their self control when they hear the shrill notes of the bagpipe. Personal feelings rules over emotions and sways it towards our likes or dislike. Now, to answer your question, just as people have no good reason why they cannot put up with a gaping pig, a harmless domestic cat, or a wool covered bagpipe, but when they are themselves offended, they are compelled to react in a shameful manner. So, means he was not ready to accept what the Duke was asking to do. He wants the same thing what he has written, what he has signed in the contract with Antonio. Okay, now next page. Yes, why he a harmless necessary cat, why he a woolen bagpipe, but of force must yield to such inevitable shame as to offend himself being offended. So can I give no reason, nor I will not, more than a lodged hate and a certain loathing I bear Antonio, that I follow thus a losing suit against him, as you answered. So what he was saying, that they are themselves offended, they are compelled to react in such a shameful manner that they must give offense to others. In the same way, I have no reason to give for taking a pound of flesh from Antonio, because I have a deep rooted hatred and detestation for Antonio, and so I pursue this unprofitable case against him. Now, do you have your answer? Means he was asking that I have given, he was saying that I have given 3,000 ducats to Antonio, but in place of that, I am asking unprofitable means case from him. Means I am the thing which he will give me, a flesh, a pound of flesh, it is unprofitable with me, but I am asking this because I have a hatred for Antonio. Okay, I don't love Antonio at all. I have a hatred for Antonio. Now, Bassanio, this is no answer, thou unfeeling man, to excuse the current of thy cruelty. This is not a satisfactory answer. Who said this? Bassanio said. You are a heartless man on account of your merciless actions. Now Shylock said, I am not bound to please thee with my answer. I am not obliged to give you a satisfactory answer in order to please you. That I am not here to please you. I will say what I feel. Okay. Now Bassanio said, do all men kill the things they do not love? Bassanio, do all the men kill anything that they dislike? Shylock, hates any man the thing he would not kill? Shylock, is there any man who does not kill something that he truly hates? Bassanio said, every offense is not a hate at first. Every fault is not hated from the very beginning. Shylock, what wouldst thou have a serpent sting thee twice? So, what would you allow a snake to sting you twice? Means, will you allow a snake to bite you again and again? So, that's why I want to just kill the snake, which he was referring to Antonio. Antonio, I pray you, think you question with the Jew, as may as well go stand upon the beach, and with the main flood bait his usual height, you may as well use question with the wolf, why he hath made the ewe bleat for the lamb. You may as well forbid the mountain pines to wag their high tops and to make no noise. When they are threatened with the gust of heaven, you may as well do anything most hard, as seek to often soften that than which was harder. So what Antonio said? Antonio said that remember, Visanio, you are arguing with a Jew. You might as well stand on the seashore and ask the ocean tide not to rise. You might ask the wolf why he made the mother sheep mourn for the lamb he devoured. You might as well forbid the pine tree on the mountains to sway their high tops and to make noise when disturbed by the winds from above. You might as well do the most difficult thing in the world rather than attempt a thing hardened to soften the heart of the Jew. Means what he was saying, that you can ask anyone, means you can ask the seashore and ask the ocean tide not to rise, that they will not rise. If you will ask the ocean tide, they will not rise of your saying. But if you will ask the wolf why he made the mother sheep mourn for the lamb he devoured, you might ask, or you might forbid the pine trees on the mountains to sway their high tops and to make noise when disturbed by the winds from above. But you cannot soften the heart of the Jew. So just leave what you are asking from Shylock. Yes. His Jewish heart, therefore, I do beseech you, make no more offers, use no further means, but with all brief and plain conveniency, let me have judgment and the Jew his will. So I request you not to make him any more offers, nor to take any more steps, but with all due speed and simplicity, as it is convenient to you, let me have the judgment and let the Jew have his will. Bassanio, for thy 3,000 ducats, here is 6. Bassanio said, here are 6,000 ducats instead of your 3,000. So, because this one, Portia gave the money to Bassanio to help his friend, and he bring that 6,000 ducats to Shylock and said that, okay, take these 6,000 ducats instead of your 3,000. Shylock, if every ducat in 6,000 ducats, one in 6 parts, and every part a ducat, I would not draw them, I would have my bond. If each of the 6,000 ducats were divided into 6, and each part was a ducat, yet I would not accept them, I would have only my bond. Now, Shylock was like stubborn. He doesn't want any money from Antonio or Bassanio. He said ki if you will give me 6,000 divided by 6, then also I would not accept them. I would have only my bond. I want his flesh. Duke, how shalt thou hope for mercy, rendering none? If you show no mercy to others, how can you hope for God's mercy? Shylock, what judgment shall I dread, doing no wrong? You have among you many a purchased slave, which, like your asses and your dogs and mules, you use in abject and in slavish part. Because you bought them, shall I say to you, let them be free, marry them to your heirs. Why sweat they under burdens? Let their beds be made as soft as yours, and let their palates but seasons be seasoned with such viands. You will answer, the slave are ours. So do I answer you, the pound of flesh which I demand of him is dearly bought. This mine, and I will have it. If you deny me, fie upon your law. There is no force in the decrees of Venice. I stand for judgment. Answer, shall I have it? So, what Shylock said that, what judgment do I fear? When Duke was saying that show some mercy for Antonio, so he said that what judgment do I fear when I have done no wrong? You keep many slaves whom you have bought, like your asses, your dogs, and mules. You use them in mean servile tasks just because you have bought them. Shall I say to you, give them freedom and allow them to marry your children? Why have they sweat by carrying heavy loads? Let their beds be as soft as your bed and be treated with the same food as your own. Means you can marry them, you can free them, you can treat them with the same food what you eat. In this context, you would say the slaves are ours. So my reply is the same. The pound of flesh which I demand from Antonio has been bought by me at a high price. It is mine, and I will have it. If you deny me what is lawful, you should be ashamed of the legal system of your city. There is no legal authority in Venice to deny this to me. I demand the judgment now. Answer me where I shall have it or not. Duke, upon my power, I may dismiss this court, unless Bellario, a learned doctor whom I have sent for to determine this, come here today. So, what Duke said, with my authority, I may adjourn the court, means he dismiss the court, unless Bellario, a learned doctor of law, whom I have requested to come and settle this case, comes here today. So he said that today the court is dismissed and we will wait for Dr. Bellario, who is a learned doctor of law. Yes. So Salario said, my lord, here stays without a messenger with letters from the doctor, come from Padua. So, my lord, a messenger from the doctor from Padua is waiting outside with letters. Duke, bring us the letters, call the messenger. So he said that, okay, bring the letters to me and call in the messenger. Bassanio, good cheer, Antonio, what man courage yet? The Jew shall have my flesh, blood, bones, and all, ere thou shalt lose for me one drop of blood. Bassanio said, cheer up, Antonio, have courage. The Jew will have all my blood, flesh, and bones before you lose one drop of your blood on my account. He said that I will not allow Shylock to take a drop of blood from your body. Okay, he will take all my blood, my flesh, and bones. Antonio, I am a tainted wether of the flock, meetest for death, the weakest kind of fruit, drops earliest to the ground, and so let me. You cannot better be employed, Bassanio, than to live still and write mine epitaph. So what he said that, okay, I am like a sick sheep in the herd, more suitable to be slaughtered earlier than the others. The weakest fruit falls earliest from the tree, and so let me die. It will be a fitting task for you, Bassanio, to live and write the inscription on my tombstone. Okay, he asked that, okay, don't worry, Bassanio, I am like, there is no one for me and I have no money also, so just let me die and it will be a fitting task for you, and you can write the inscription on my tombstone. Now enter Nerissa dressed like a lawyer's clerk. Okay, we learned in the last this act that Nerissa and Portia, they went to Venice. They reached Venice in the men's means like men's appearance. So now Nerissa dressed like a lawyer's clerk. Duke, came you from Padua, from Bellario? Have you come from Dr. Bellario from Padua? Nerissa said, from both, my lord. Bellario greets your grace, presents a letter. Nerissa said, yes, from Padua and from Bellario, my lord. Bellario sends his greetings to your grace. Bassanio said, why dost thou whet thy knife so earnestly? Bassanio said, why do you sharpen your knife with so much attention, Shylock? Shylock, to cut the forfeiture from that bankrupt hare, to cut off a pound of flesh that has been promised as per the bond by this bankrupt man. Now Gratiano said, not on thy soul, but on thy soul harsh you. Thou makes thy knife keen, but no metal can. No, not the hangman's axe bear half the keenness of thy sharp envy. Can you pierce thee? It is not on the sole of your shoe, but on your soul, cruel Jew, that you are sharpening your knife. No metal, not even the axe of a hangman, can have half the sharpness of your envy. Can no prayers penetrate your heart? Means can nothing melt your heart? Can you not show the mercy for Antonio? Now Shylock said, no, none that thou hast wit enough to make. No, none that you are clever enough to make. Gratiano, O be thou damned, inexecrable dog, and for thy life let justice be accused. Thou almost makest me waver in my faith, to hold opinion with Pythagoras that souls of animals infuse themselves into the trunks of men. They courage spirit governed a wolf who hanged for human slaughter, even from the gallows did his fell soul fleet, and whilst thou layest in thy unhallowed dam, infused itself in thee, for thy desires are wolfish, bloody, starved, and ravenous. So, what Gratiano said, that may you be damned, shameless man, to whom he is calling? To whom he is calling, to whom? Means he is saying to whom?
To Shylock. Shylock, ma'am?
Yes, to Shylock. He is saying to Shylock that may you be damned, shameless man. Justice ought to be blamed for letting you live. You make me doubt about my religion's faith. I am led to believe in the theory of Pythagoras, according to which the souls of animals may enter the bodies of men. Your evil spirit once lived in the body of a wolf who was hanged for killing a man. When he was hanged, his wild soul escaped directly from his body into the body of your unholy mother and entered into you when you were still unborn. For all your desires are wolf like, bloodthirsty, starved, and hungry. Now Gratiano became angry towards Shylock, and he said that you have the soul of a wolf which entered into you when you were still unborn. For all your desires are like wolf like, that you are bloodthirsty, you are starved, you are hungry, you are merciless. Shylock, till thou canst rail the seal from off my bond, thou but offends thy lungs to speak so loud. Repair thy wit, good youth, or it will fall. To cureless ruin I stand here for law. fifth